Hey, what's up, guys? Ben from My Sports Stop here with Richie Donnell. Today, we're going to talk about one of the most intriguing prospects, Jabrill Peppers.
Yeah, when you talk about Jabrill Peppers, it's almost like as if we're talking about an NBA player, because in the NBA we talk about guys who are positionless players who do certain things well, that they could play this and that, and that's exactly how Jabrill Peppers is. He's really just the definition of a DW, a defensive weapon,
Right?
And brings also a next level return game as a punt and kick returner to whatever team he ends up going to as well.
Well, and in the combine, he worked out with both the linebackers and defensive backs. Like you said, he's kind of positionless.
Yeah.
Is that a blessing or a curse?
I think for the NFL, it's a curse because you're going to have to find a spot. Okay. Now, they can move him around schematically and say, hey, this play we want you to do this play we want you to do this play we want you to do this. But that kind of defuncts his real true ability. This kid might be the best athlete in this draft.
Okay.
But the problem is going to be because he doesn't necessarily play one position, he's not going to be able to work at that position as much as he would if he were, like, let's say, a safety. He'd be doing safety things all the time and could become an elite safety. Or if they decided to play him at outside linebacker, being able to be just an outside linebacker and do those things all the time and hone those skills could be an elite outside linebacker.
Yes.
But bouncing all over the place, I think, is going to not necessarily screw him up. Mentally, he can handle it. He's already done it. But athletically, I think that his ceiling doesn't go as high as if he just played one position.
And I think the team that drafts him needs to have a specific plan for him. You can't just plug him in at outside linebacker or at safety. Yeah. He needs to have his own position, kind of like how the Packers use Clay Matthews, kind of put him all over the place. It's got to be like that. You're not drafting him for a safety or as a linebacker. Right. He's going to be drafted because he's a DW, like you said, a defensive weapon.
Yeah.
With my NFL comparison, I couldn't find a single guy because he is completely unique. So I see him as a mix between Sua Cravens and Zach Brown. Sua Cravens, drafted by the Redskins last year, was a safety at USC. Right. He's kind of played more as an outside linebacker with the Redskins, and is a bit of a unique guy himself. And then I see a little bit of Zach Brown in him, because Zach Brown, with the Bills, ran all over the field last season, and was one of the top tacklers in the league. And I think Jabrill Peppers, I think he can be a guy who's going to get over 100 tackles every season.
Yeah. And what really truly makes him unique is he's not necessarily as big as the Sua Cravens and the Deion Buchanans. He is a little bit shorter, but that allows him to be able to even line up as a nickel if you really wanted to. He had 11 pass breakups. I mean, this guy can play the ball. You can put him on a wide receiver and don't have to worry about him in coverage. It's something, like you said, it's truly... He truly is the first of his own kind as a guy who can play off the ball, center field, and also play at the line of scrimmage.
So where is that going to put him on the draft board?
I would think based off athleticism alone and the fact that you can mold this guy, I would think he'd go a little higher. But everything that I've seen has told me he's going to go in the 20s. It kind of seems like that's where he's finding his home. Whereas last year, I mean, they were talking about him during the regular season as the number 1 pick until Myles Garrett, solidified that. I really don't know. I really don't have an answer for you.
It's a hard question to answer, and as far as my big board goes, I have him ranked number 6. I see him as the 6th best player in this draft, but like I said, the team that drafts him needs to come in with a specific plan and an idea of how to use him. He can be utilized correctly. He can be the defensive rookie of the year next year, but he needs to be used right. And I see him as a top 15 player. I think somebody's gonna really like this guy and pick him up, maybe even trade up for him. I mean, the first team that comes to mind, New England Patriots. I mean, could we see them trade up and pick him? Or if he starts dropping, I think they're going to snatch him.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this kid's too good of an athlete to let him fall.
Yeah. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Remember to go on our website, mysportstop.com, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more original videos.